Hi, I'm Jeremy Love, immigration attorney here at the Love Law Firm in Hoover, Alabama. I just wanted to give you a quick update on what's the latest with DACA. I've been getting some questions regarding DACA and a little bit of information about the future of DACA as well. So I'm going to try to address that today. Thank you again for joining me. And this is going to be a pretty quick review over, what is DACA, what's going on with DACA right now, what is likely to happen in the future, as well as what I recommend for anyone to do right now if you have DACA or are eligible for DACA. I'm doing this chat right now in English. I'll be back in about 20 minutes to do one in Spanish as well. Este charla va a estar en inglés. Voy a regresar en como 20 minutos con una charla en español también. Well, just to know a little bit about, in case you're not very familiar with DACA, it's Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, and it's for anyone who came to the U.S. under the age of 16, who has lived in the U.S. since at least June 15th, 2007, and is currently enrolled in school, has graduated from high school, obtained a GED, or served honorably in the military. As well as there are some other requirements, such as background check that makes sure that the applicant doesn't have conviction of a felony, significant misdemeanor, or multiple misdemeanor offenses, at least 3 misdemeanors, and was born on or after June 15th, 1981. And the idea is that it provides 2 years protection from deportation in the deferred action type status, as well as a work permit. So that's a little bit about DACA. If you'd like to learn more about DACA, you can check out our website, loveimmigration.com, which also has a page on DACA. There's a link to it that I posted earlier this morning when I first talked about a little update on DACA as well as the status. Okay, so going forward, the latest on DACA, you might recall that during the campaign, Trump said that he was going to cancel DACA. That was one of his campaign promises. And then a few months ago, in a statement, he said that he was going to keep DACA. And I know at the beginning of the year, a lot of people were unsure what was going to happen. We assumed that DACA was going to be discontinued. But now DACA does exist. DACA is in place. But what happened most recently was 10 states, including Alabama, sent a letter to Jeff Sessions and basically said that if DACA is not canceled by September 5th, I believe, that they were going to file a lawsuit against the federal government to try to stop DACA. Their statement said that they wanted to phase out DACA. So basically they weren't going to come after people who have DACA. The idea was that that the federal government would no longer be able to approve new DACA applications, so renewals or initials. Now that's what they wanted. That's what these 10 states wanted. So they have not filed a lawsuit yet. They just have threatened to do so if the federal government doesn't stop DACA. Since then, just yesterday, Trump said that it was his decision whether or not to keep DACA, which is true. It's an executive action. He can discontinue at any time, and he wasn't going to listen to anyone else, which is not very surprising if you've been following Donald Trump at all. So going forward, what's going to happen with DACA? It's a great question. Now, as always with executive orders, a president can cancel them at any time. But Trump has indicated a few times that he plans to keep it, that he does like the program. What he prefer is, what really a lot of people would prefer, is a immigration reform that provides a more permanent solution to the immigration problem. Essentially, DACA just is a method which immigration says, okay, this person's here undocumented, but we can only deport a certain number of people a year, and these people are lower priority for deportation. So we're going to let them stay here temporarily, 2 years at a time, and obtain work permits while they're, while they're here in the U.S. So, going forward, really there doesn't have to be a big process to cancel DACA. It's something that can be done by order. But I'm of the opinion that Trump is likely to keep it as long as we don't have an immigration reform. Now, if the lawsuit is filed, I'm assuming that there would be an injunction filed with it as well, that the states would like to stop DACA as soon as possible without going through the whole court process, which could take a while with appeal and all that. So, the real question I think comes down to was, would the judge grant a temporary injunction stopping DACA temporarily until there's a final decision on the case? I don't know. I doubt that would happen because there are 800,000 people who have DACA, who depend on DACA. Now, those would be able to continue working and everything, but they wouldn't be able to renew if there's an injunction in place. So this is all hypothetical because, again, there's no lawsuit right now. But we're not sure exactly what happened. My real question is, if there is a lawsuit filed to stop DACA, would Trump fight to keep DACA? That's my real question, especially when the Attorney General is Jeff Sessions. So, I'm not really sure. He does, like I said, seem like he wants to keep it. I don't know how far he would go to keep it, but I think really right now what I suggest is we need to educate people, let people know how important DACA is, especially employers, because there are a lot of big companies out there that depend on DACA employees to continue working, and obviously people who have DACA are supporting families. And it's very important that not only for businesses but also for themselves that we keep our immigrant community here working, especially these kids have already gone through all the background checks they need to do. Many of them now are adults, but that's my opinion on it. But I think it really comes down to educating others on the importance of DACA. So for people who are here on DACA or who are possibly eligible to renew, I do have a couple of suggestions. Again, remember, DACA is still in place. I do recommend that if your DACA expires within the next 5 months to go ahead and renew now. Don't wait. We're not sure what will happen down the road. Obviously pay attention to reputable news sources when hearing about information on DACA. I do also recommend that everyone know their rights. Because if we've seen, it's rare, but occasionally we do see some people with DACA who are picked up by ICE. Generally that's if there's some type of criminal background, but obviously it's very important for everyone to know their rights. I have a Know Your Rights brochure that I recommend. It's available on the website. At least the Spanish one's available right now. The English one, I need to upload it, but it has a lot of great information on your rights. As well as preparing a safety plan, which is really important if you have family that depends on you, because it's one thing that included in there would be a power of attorney, so that your children, your assets can be protected if you're picked up or detained. So that's a couple of suggestions. Remember, just to sum up, there's no lawsuit right now. DACA is still in effect. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'd be happy to help out. Again, my name is Jeremy Love. Website loveimmigration.com, and the phone number 205-323-8727. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a great day.